Hey guys, welcome back to Warhammer Weekend Times. I'm Stan, your host, and today we've got a 2v2 field battle in the shifting sands of Khemri. My ally is going to be Waagh, and I am going to be playing as the Grand Principality of Reikland, and we are going to be up against Dodgedit, who's playing against, or as the Lizardmen, and Sipi Sapo, who's playing as the Skaven. Let's go ahead and go over the army comments really quick, and then go ahead and start this battle. But Sipi Sapo has a few units of Warplock Jezzails. He's also bringing some small rats, and I think he's got 2 units of Rat Ogres. He's got a unit of Doomflayer in the back. Pretty good anti-cav unit. Over here, it looks like he's got some more Warplock Jezzails and some more small rats. He's also got some Albino Guard, super elite infantry for the Skaven, but very expensive, like 3,000 gold, I think. He's got more Warplock Jezzails and small rats. He's kind of got them kind of extended all the way over here. It looks like he's got some Skaven slaves, and then he's got some Poison Wind Globadiers, which are a really good unit. He's got some more Albino Guard, and his other unit, Rat Ogres, over here. And I think that's about his army. I think he spent most of his funds into his Rat Ogres. I think they're like 8,000 gold, so very expensive unit, but they're very hard to kill and take down. Over here for Dawah's army, he's got a line of Harbos Orc Archers. He's also got some Chaos Dwarf Crossbowmen behind them. It looks like he's got some Hobgoblin Despoilers of the Darklands as well. It kind of looks like he's going to send them up over to maybe intercept Sipi Sapo's forces. He's also got some Infernal Guard with Fire Glaives. You know, just really obligatory if you're taking the Chaos Dwarves. They got such good range and damage and HP on those units. He's also got some regular Infernal Guard. I think he's got 3 units of those. And he's got some Black Orcs, 2 units of Black Orcs. He's got an Earthshaker Cannon, some Chaos Giants, and then some more Harroth's Black Mountain Boys on each flank. It does look like he's also got a unit of Hobgoblin Wolf Rider Archers as well. But that is his army. My army is going to be over here, and I've got a couple units of Outriders, some Stallion Caballeros, and some Demigryph Knights. I kind of spaced my cab out a little bit. Over here for my infantry corps, I've got some Knights of Arigio, some Dismounted Reiksguard. I think I've got about 2 units of, I'm sorry guys, Ragnar's Wolves. Then I've got some Shield Maidens. It's a really good unit. They're only 700 gold, but they've got something like 16 defense. They come pretty numerous. There's 75 in a unit. And this is on normal scale, so that's up from a typical, I guess, 65 in a unit. So they're a pretty good unit to take. You think you can take like 6 of them before they start becoming, or having a price increase. So, but anyway, guys, I got some more Dismounted Reiksguard Halberds over here, and then I've also got 2 units of Empire Mortar. Over here, kind of on the front lines, I've got some Great Swords, some High Elf Archers, some Shadow Warriors, and then a Hellstorm Rocket Battery. And that, I think, is my army, or all my units. Over here for Dodgedit army, he's got 4 units of Cold One Cav. He's also got, I think, 4 units of Skink Archers, 4 units of Sauruses, and I think about 4 more units of Temple Guard, and then 3 units of Kroxigors in the back. And then, oh, look, some Skink Priests are hiding in there. I did not notice those until, like, just now, actually. He hid those really well. But anyway, guys, those are the armies. Let's go ahead and go normal speed. But Sipi Sapo, as you can see way over here, is going to start sending his army up to try and engage against Waagh. And then Dodgedit is going to be kind of slowly moving his army up. I am going to be firing with my Hellstorm Rocket Battery, though, into his Cold One Cavalry, getting some good hits there, taking out quite a few in those units and whittling them down to a much more manageable number in some of those. In some of those units. So, but he is going to start sending his cavalry up. I am going to continue to fire at them with my Hellstorm Rocket Battery, although sometimes when it moves like this, it's dangerous because you can get your own units in the way, and they don't discriminate. They will just fire through them. I am going to be firing in a lot of my archer units as well, and then charge his cab, but I am going to be kind of returning that charge with my Stallion Caballeros and my Demigryph Knights. Then over here, I do have my Outriders kind of charging around, firing at this Cold One Cav, but he's going to charge them in and get into melee. I really don't want to leave my Outriders prolonged in melee for too long, but his general is going to go down there. Probably took a few shots before my Outriders killed him, but that actually was pretty fortuitous. Let's see. Oh yeah, over here, Dodgedit has kind of reformed his lines a little bit. He's going to start sending up his lizards, and they're just going to be charging in. Over here, we can kind of see Sipi Sapo and Waagh beginning their, looks like they're just about to begin their melee engagement. In goes the, I believe that was the Earthshaker Cannon volley. But Waagh is going to charge in the Black Orcs and the Albino Guard, and they are going to just be going at it. They're both multi-HP units. The Albino Guard probably have a much quicker attack animation, so that's going to be interesting to see who wins, because there are, I believe, are more Black Orcs in this engagement currently. But Sipi Sapo is going to be sending up his small rats. This is really kind of what he wants to do. He's kind of making a blanket for his Warplock Jezzail so they can fire in, kind of over and past the small rats and into these larger units and get some really good kills. That's kind of how you want to use this unit, as kind of just a doorstop. But the engagements are going to begin. It does look like Waagh is going to be firing in with a lot of his archer units. In comes his Earthshaker Cannon volley, and that's going to go right over the heads of those Warplock Jezzails. Very lucky, although it doesn't look like their Warplock Jezzails are actually firing their bullets, and it might be because these guys are in the way, or the small rats. But this is really cool here. These Poison Wind Globadiers just throwing their poisonous gases into these Black Orcs. Ooh, that was close too. That could have, if that hit a little bit closer to Poison Globadiers, that could have wiped that whole unit out. But that is going to cause quite a bit of damage to the Black Orcs. You can see all these dead units. I think the Poison Wind Globadiers kind of act like as almost like a one-hit KO kind of deal. I've seen them one-shot giants before, but it does look like they're going to try and kind of attempt to throw their you know, poison, but they're not going to really get it out. But the Black Orcs are going to be charging in and cutting down some of these rats. Over here in this engagement, it has kind of progressed a little bit quick, but Dodgedit has charged in his Sauruses and his Croxigors into my flanks pretty much, and I'm going to be kind of cycle charging into the Lizardmen. The Lizardmen are kind of a faction that don't really have a lot of answers to cav except just with their own cav, and I really kind of, you know, did quite a bit of damage to them earlier on, and I had my own cavalry to kind of answer back. But these sources are going to be getting into my more valuable units. He's going to be cutting down my Master Engineers with Peter handguns. These are a great unit, especially for routing other units. My Great Swords over here are going to be engaged against a few sources. That's not going to be a real problem for them. I do still have my Ragnar's Wolves, and it does look like kind of our micro is obviously not in this part of the battle for either of us. I think I'm kind of wheeling my cav around a little bit. Actually, I really have no idea what I'm doing right now. That's taking all my attention of not, like, just charging in with my Ragnar's Wolves. It does look like Dodgedit is going to kind of realize that he has a really good opportunity here, and he's going to send in his Temple Guard against my Ragnar's Wolves. Now, my Ragnar's Wolves are not weak in melee by any means, but I don't want to leave them in melee for too long. They have a great charge, and that's kind of where they shine. Some of these Skink Archers are going to be firing into my lines, although Skink Archers have a really low missile damage, I think only like 4. So that's like half of what like typical full-sized archer units have. I am going to be charging in though more of my Demigryph Knights, and this is kind of just how the engagement engaged. We pretty much had melee engagements on my side and cycle charges left and right from my heavier cav that I had left over. But I think these might get, hopefully, spear units at one point. I don't know if that's lore friendly. I was talking to a friend who I think plays tabletop, and I think he said that they do have spear units in the tabletop, but I don't know. They need something to fight cav a little better with, in my opinion, because they do typically, whenever you're fighting like a faction that does have heavier cav, you do kind of get messed up pretty well if he utilizes it. Now there are a few Skink Priests here, and I want to be careful because these guys definitely have the power to just destroy my army, and it does look like, I'm not quite sure who's firing or where these Skink Priests are that were firing. I don't think that they were the ones I just charged into just now, but they could maybe have been. I'm not sure, but it does look like he kind of shot into some of his own Skink Archers though, killing some of them. But you know, that happens, guys. Mage units definitely have a little bit of friendly fire risk associated with them, but they are usually very good. But I am going to be kind of cleaning up my engagement over here a little bit. Let's go see what the Chaos Dwarves and the Skaven are up to, and it does look like that some of these Rat Ogres are going to be kind of what's left. It does look like Sipi Sapo does still have some more Buck Jazales, and he does still have his Poison Wing Globadiers, which usually it's really hard to kind of hold on to these kind of smaller, I would call these mages almost. I don't know if you really classify them as mages. They're more kind of like close range javelin units almost, but I guess most mages have kind of a javelin throw, but I would maybe classify them as a weapon team because they're really not using magic, and they're not like devastating on a large scale like Bright Wizards can be. You know, Bright Wizards really aren't even that overpowered in my opinion at this point. They were a lot worse in 1.6, but it does look like the Poison Wing Globadiers are going to be getting engaged into melee combat, and they are not going to stand up to these Infernal Guard whatsoever. But he does have some more Black Jazales back here. Not many left though, only 16. Maybe if he hits every single time with each unit in the volley, he might be able to whittle these Infernal Guard down to nothing, but they are still going to cut through these very valuable Poison Wing Globadiers, and I think at this point that his engagement's kind of lost. It does look like over here that there are some units still holding strong, some Bino Guard exhausted, only 2 in the unit, but look guys, they're not shaken. This is a really good testament to how strong their morale is. Certain units just refuse to break, even when like just swarmed like this. And it does look like some of the Chaos Giants over here are still fighting against some of these, I guess these are, yeah, just these Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres are so tough to take down. They're probably, defensively, in my opinion, one of the stronger units. I've just seen them just really last just obscene amounts of time in fights. I actually think in this fight they might be one of the last units to actually go down. The Harboth Orc Archers are going to be firing in, though, into these Warplock Jazales, doing a really good job at whittling them down. Harboth Orc Archers have really high attack, I think like a 12, which I think is maybe even higher than the Shadow Warriors, but I am going to finish my engagement over here and start sending up troops. It's really, we really don't need it at this point, though. We kind of have won this battle. You know, on my part for Cav superiority, and I think just kind of on Sipi's or on Dewah's part, that probably just from just the hardiness of his units and the fact that he has just a ton of range capability. Skaven are kind of hard to play right now in this mod. I'm not saying they're like impossible, because they certainly can be played right. They just have, you know, unless you bring a Screaming Bell, it's very hard to keep them from routing, or from some of the weaker units from routing. Over here, we do technically have a Rat Ogre. He is in the Rat Ogre unit. He's not a Rat Ogre per se, he's kind of like one of the handlers, but he does share the same stats as the Rat Ogres. But look at this, I mean, all these units just piling in on him, and he's just like, no, I'm, you know, like, you know, leave me alone, I'm a Rat Ogre, even though he's not. But I think, yeah, that's it pretty much, folks. That one Rat Ogre, quote unquote, is going to be sitting here and just resisting arrest. Oh, I guess there are 2. I take that back. So they're going to be, you know, just beating those rats to a pulp. But one of them is going to go down. I think the other one is going to go down momentarily. But like I was saying, guys, Skaven are a very good faction. They are getting a lot of new units in the patch, or in the next patch that's upcoming. But you know, right now it's kind of hard to play against a faction that's very hardy, or a faction that can cause a lot of fear. So, but anyway, guys, that was a battle. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed playing these battles. Let's take a look at the kill count for my units. I got 191 on my Demigryph Knights, 0 and 4 for my Empire Mortar. I am consistently getting less and less kills with my mortars, and I may just stop bringing them all together. They're very cheap. They're only like 2,000 gold, which is not very much for an artillery unit. So it's pretty cheap, but, you know, like I got a 104 with my Hellstrom Rocket Battery. That's pretty good. So, I mean, but these are very expensive too. I think these are like over 5,000 gold, so it's kind of a lot of money. But I got a lot of kills with my Ragnar's Wolves. Mostly my Cav were doing a lot of the work, and my artillery unit, my Hellstrom Rocket Battery, did quite a bit of work too, but my other units didn't do too much. I think I routed a lot of his army. But anyway, guys, that was a battle. I hope you guys liked it. And there's more to come. I've got some sieges that I plan on uploading very soon, so hopefully we'll see some of them. And I'm just waiting just kind of on the tournament for more replays to kind of come in. I don't want to just start it and then end the bracket halfway through, so we'll start that once we get some more replays. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you guys like the battle, and I will see you guys next time.